Just kidding. Do you guys have a team name, perchance?
Oh.
That'd be
In
fun.
all fairness, Roderick abandoned us pretty quickly. So, a lot of this is on the fly.
Oh, for sure.
But,
Oh,
I don't
team
know.
name?
I came up with one the last time. You guys fucking be creative.
Oh, okay.
Be serious.
I know, right?
Muncher.
Oh, Roderick's gonna do it? Ooh.
It doesn't have to be super serious. I know it's a one-shot, but...
Magnus Carcosa?
There's a joke in there. I know there is, but sure. That sounds great.
There's actually no joke in that.
Or like
What's
Magnus
Carcosa
Bullshit! You have
Carcosa.
obscure knowledge about random shit. I know in Latin somehow that just means butt munchers.
I mean, Carcosa
Gobbler,
is
something. Like, come on. It means something. I know it does.
Carcosa is a landscape from one of H.P. Lovecraft's.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, Magnus Carcosa. That's cool. I like that.
That's dope.
Yeah, there's a book
Works for
called
me.
Shadows of Carcosa.
That's what I'm talking about. Random obscure knowledge.
He's got a lot. Yeah, I didn't even remember that.
Wow.
I didn't even know that.
Dude,
What do you mean, wow?
Lovecraft
Don't be
really,
offended, Roger.
Lovecraft really liked his
Shut up.
fucking,
Don't
I
be
mean,
offended.
I haven't read them in a while.
Dumbass.
The last ones I
Wow.
read were Dagon,
Wow,
Call
what?
of Cthulhu, and Shadow over Innsmouth.
Jesus. Wow.
Wow.
Dumbass.
Dumbass.
So triggered.
Johnny, I don't got any arms.
All right, let's run this jam.
All right.
Erica.
Any lingering things about characters, or are we good to go?
No, I think we're good to go.
Roderick, you played in Asamar as Aegatir. How does flying work?
Do you
I don't really
do you do uppies?
I have a... Well, does it take an action? I'm just...
It's just movement.
So, yeah, so like as a race, as an Arakoka, it's just movement.
Okay, because I have a flying speed of 50 feet as opposed to walking of 25, which I don't know even why I don't get 30 feet of movement, but that's weird.
Because you're
you can
third
fly.
person.
I'm also like 5 feet tall.
Yeah, that's why Arakokas are typically banned in plays, because at level 1 you can just fly 50 feet. So
Yeah,
like no.
Do whatever you want. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right,
Well,
let's
Colton
run
literally
this.
did say make the most broken characters you want because it's not going to matter. So
Ooh.
there is a Tarask flavored as a Tyrant.
No, this is completely. I literally made this today.
Oh,
like
lovely! It's something we can't even guess at.
No, it's not.
It is Eldritch Horror, truly and holy. A creature rises in front of you. Its configuration and form is so alien and mystical that it quite literally sears your mind into goop just by staring at it for too long. Give me a DC 35 wisdom saving throw or die instantly from insanity.
Instantly stab your own eyes out. And play the entire game with the blinded...
Yeah. Riley, roll to attack. 19. What's your AC? 17? Cool. So you gouge your own eyes out from the sheer horror that you were witnessing. You think it's mind control at first, but then you truly realize that these were your own actions. And it was the only way you could truly escape from the horrors of which you were witnessing. You gaze into the ethereal abyss. And suddenly you realize you are not the only one looking. It is looking back at you.
I'm so ready. You guys ready?
Roll for initiative. Yes, I'm ready.
Yes, let's go.
All right. I'm excited because... let's see. All right, so yeah, you are a trio of basically brothers at this point. You've been traveling, adventuring, and growing strong together for the past 7 years. You've traveled kind of all over the galaxy, found many planets, saved many towns from many evils, and you're currently in your totally cool custom ship that you guys definitely have, flying toward Zima, which is a planet that is very, very cold during the winter, which it is now. You've been summoned, requested to kind of investigate a disturbances that have been going around in this town, Byagun Polniastna, and you know the leader who's requested your aid. You've met him before, about 4 years ago. You saved their town previously from these creatures that infected the living and the dead, and were raising armies. So they requested you, having known you in the past, but you do know that this guy's a little superstitious and could be bogus, could be something, could be nothing. But they have a Winter Solstice festival coming up, and they are very much fervently trying to protect this festival and any disturbances that might upset it. So you guys are planet-bound now. Feel free to introduce your characters and roleplay. Well, we can start with, I believe Riley finished his character first.
Okay, yeah. I mean, like I said, my character's name is Kira. They're Aarakocra, very hawk-like, dark brown feathers, short beak. They're only about 5 feet tall. Cloaked in kind of large traveling cloak that doesn't quite cover their entire frame. Obviously, with the wings, it's folded up kind of around them. But it's small pieces of like pauldrons, kind of gauntlets, greaves, and a very small chest plate, just kind of cover the vitals. Very kind of just dark gray and kind of like midnight blue colorings. Yeah, they have a thigh holster with a pistol in the on their right thigh, and then they have two very severe-looking hand axes, while deactivated at the moment, that just hangs on his hips, kind of from the handles, like on a loop. They kind of just dangle there.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's just kind of always looking around, always kind of investigating, taking stock, noting where every item in every room and every exit, every potential weapon, potential enemy, potential ally, everything. They're very just eyes constantly flitting everywhere they go, to taking in everything, to be as informed as possible about every situation that they step into.
Awesome. Do you imagine, and what's their name?
I'm sorry?
What's their name?
Kira.
Kira. Do you imagine that Kira would be flying your guys' ship? Or who do you think's at the helm?
No, Kira would definitely be working like the communications system.
Okay.
Battlefield
That makes
information. That's where he's most comfortable taking in all that info and being able to quickly and efficiently disperse it out. So no, they would not be. They would be in the helm, but they would not be flying the ship. The second mate, kind of, or first mate, however that works.
Okay, and I think I lied. I believe, actually, Roderick might have finished his character before anybody else did.
Ah!
So, you can go next, buddy.
All right.
Just a dash of racism.
That's right. My character is Belrissa, a knight of Sutek. He is a Minotaur Illrigger. So, what you imagine as a Minotaur, but kind of more on the demonic-esque side. Sutek is the Sanguine Prince, so he's all about blood. So imagine this like black furred Minotaur with kind of these like dark red accents and features to his body and horn designs. He uses a shield and battle axe. The battle axe is more of like a vibroblade that sits as kind of like a hilt on his waist, and on his arm you see a ornate bracer that, when activated, projects a shield. His main tasks are to go out and find all of those that escaped from the Hells and force them into Sutek's army, and also just kind of keep the overworld out of the underworld's business by keeping all of these demons in check.
Cool.
That's like his main goal.
Is he considered large?
He is it's like a Goliath. He's like on the largest end of medium character.
Got it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
He is a commanding knight, so I guess we'll have him as the pilot for the ship and taking the helm. And
I'll let you take my helm.
Ew. And
Sorry.
Yeah, that's about it for him.
That's awesome. Sean, how about you?
So my character is Davrin. He is a human monk. He is, just kind of very humble, just kind of, a little quiet, on the more quiet side. I imagine him as kind of the cartographer of the ship, the map maker, and he's the navigator. And he is wearing like a dark gray sun hat. It's all kind of wicker, and you can see that it's starting to fray at the edges from how long he's had it and how many battles he's been in. He's wearing lots of like just kind of monastic robes, kind of loosely hanging around his the ends of his hands and stuff like that. He's got big metal staff that's kind of propped up against his shoulder. While he sits in the chair, he's kind of got it like kind of shoved down between his legs, and it's kind of propped up against his shoulder, between his neck and his shoulder. He is like 5'10", 5'9", kind of on the kind of average range of a human. And that's pretty much it. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot going on other than the fact that he is ready to throw down whenever.
Hell yeah. You might need that. So, you guys descend to the planet Zima. It's a pretty much a white sphere as you approach. And as you get closer to the city and to the landing bay, there's a string of kind of blue flames and torches that kind of line the runway. You guys land your super awesome spaceship down in one of these bays, and the
Ebon Hawk.
The what? The Ebon Hawk. That's awesome.
I was literally thinking like the 1,000-year hawk.
The
So
aluminum eagle. Sorry.
No, you're good. So the Jarl comes up, and you guys have just arrived at Byagun Polniastna, and he says, Magnus Carcosa, welcome. Trust you had a safe landing? Safe travels through the cosmos?
Couple of bumps and bruises just from turbulence, but you know how these things go. And the entire time Kira interacts with anybody, their hand is always resting on top of their holster. Always. Not in a threatening manner, that's just where they're comfortably always resting their hand. Kind of gunslinger style.
Yeah.
Very spaghetti western.
Yeah, and you notice that the Jarl notices, but he doesn't pay no mind. He kind of looks over the rest of you and says, "Well, if you come with me, we can talk inside."
Let us go.
So he brings you guys to kind of a private section in the sort of ornate throne house, so to speak, and sits you down at this long, polished steel table. It says, "I know it may be my own paranoia, but there have been simply too many strange reports. There are children going missing, people can't sleep at night, talks of consistent night terrors.
Well, that don't sound like the pirates that we usually run into.
No, I would assume pirates are much louder. We can't seem to determine what's going on, but I have a bad feeling. There was an ill omen. A bright red comet that passed ahead last week. And right before sputtering across the horizon, displayed a flash of the sickest green I've ever seen.
Well, now hold on. This is the great beyond. There is going to be a lot of unexplained phenomenon. Surely this can just be rounded up to perhaps you have slavers in your midst or something like that. Just attributing every nebula that flares up in some kind of solar event isn't really going to make this some wicked voodoo shit.
Is that what all of you think?
Agreed. Even the comets are normal. They usually fly on a directed course every so often. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here.
Well,
No, we're not trying to call you a liar. We've just been traversing the stars for a very long time, and things like these happen all over the place. And while there may be strange events, it usually just coordinates with people getting into their own heads a little too much.
be that as it may, if it may please you to think of this as a vacation of sorts, you may partake in the festival as long as you just remain aware and keep an eye on the goings on at night. The sightings have been sporadic, so take post wherever you'd like. But I just ask that you keep a watchful eye over the city until the Winter Solstice festival ends in 2 days' time.
Yeah, of course. I do apologize if it felt like I dismissed you offhand. It wasn't supposed to come off that way. You got to understand, we see a lot of strange things, and there's usually it's kind of Occam's razor, you know. Things are usually the simplest explanation is really what happens. But we'll definitely keep an eye out. We'll make sure people are safe. That's what we're here for.
Well, I greatly appreciate that. Well, you may have some of the quarters here in the throne house and make yourselves comfortable.
Well, I
Dibs on the
greatly
top bunk.
appreciate that. Go ahead, Calrisa. Or Valrisa.
Dibs on the top bunk.
The hell you do? The last time you took the top bunk, you damn near crashed the thing down on my head.
One of
You
the
either get
servants,
the couch or you get the bottom bunk. We're not doing this again.
one of the servants comes up and just kind of pats you and says, "This way to your rooms." And there's 3 separate rooms for everybody, and it's kind of like semi-future wooding realistics, where it has kind of steel walls and cotton throw blankets on top of wooden.
Did we catch this guy's name when we came
beds.
in? Did he introduce himself or no?
No, he kind of just said, "Hey, friends."
Okay. Yeah. Excuse me. I apologize if you told me your name. I must not have caught it. But whatever information or evidence or anything you could toss our way to help us kind of look into these disappearances and causes of night terrors would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, we will look into it. I just want to make sure we have all the information available, next to kin or perhaps somebody who's experienced something we can kind of look into and sink our beaks into. You know what I'm saying?
I think I pick up on what you mean. Yes, well, these reports come into our offices daily for the past week, and well, if you go talk to the officers at the police department, I'm sure they can help sort you out and point you in the right direction.
You are just ahead of me on that one. That was my next question. Thank you very much, sir.
You're very well.
So, once we get settled, can your assistant perhaps show us to the police station? I'd like to talk to the chief or the detective in charge of these cases. Post haste would be most appreciated. This is obviously a very sensitive matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Byron, please assist these guests. Take care now. Feel free to enjoy the festivities while you're here.
Kira's gonna sidle up next to Byron, who's escorting us to our rooms, and just kind of say, this is obviously a very strange occurrence. Is anything you kind of been noticing? Anything maybe perhaps that, wasn't brought up? I know it was a very brief conversation, but, sometimes details get missed in these small, quick chats. Something to kind of help us go in the right direction.
Well, I've heard that my cousin's friend went missing 2 nights ago, and they have not been able to
Lord,
find
I am
her.
so sorry to hear that.
It's okay. I'm sure we'll find her, but it has been a couple nights, so it's very worrisome.
Now, how old did you say your cousin's friend was? How old was she again?
Oh, my cousin's little. She's about 8 years old.
8 years old. Good Lord, what a young age to disappear at. Once again, I am terribly sorry. Does that seem typical about that age group that seems to be disappearing, or does it seem pretty varied? What are we looking at here?
Well, I've heard of roughly that age group, 6 to 10, it seems. There have been a couple reportings of proper adults going missing, but it just seems like mostly the children.
Pedophiles, very common in the cosmos, unfortunately.
Yes, slavers do tend to pick from the young for whatever reasoning that may be. Quite nefarious, terrible people. We usually kill them on sight unless we specifically need them to find any of their product. You said a few adults went missing as well, but you said it was pretty atypical, not standard practice.
No, not standard, it seems.
Okay, and are they all girls or boys or a good mix? What are we talking here?
Seems to be indiscriminate, from what I've heard.
And is it stuck to one species, or is it pretty indiscriminate there too?
Oh, well, yeah, as you know, we're fairly diverse, although most of us here are human. It seems to take all kinds.
Thank you very much. You've been mighty helpful. I don't know if my compatriots have any other further questions for you, but right now you seem to have satisfied everything I need, and I really do appreciate your time.
You're very welcome. These are your rooms. Pick whichever ones you please. There are plenty. And
Which one's the biggest?
yes, this one, and they point to the third.
I immediately vote for that one.
Gibbs.
They're all identical too.
Maurice and I are like fighting to get the big room.
Maurice is just going to shoulder check him into the door and then go through.
I go flying across the hallway a good ways and like skid to a stop.
Yeah, to be fair, I do have 20 strength, so to be fair, he goes like zipping across the hallway.
Yeah, it's 10, so yeah, I go sliding down the hall.
Well, whenever you're ready, I can take you down to the guards department and.
Yes, if you could just give us about 5-10 minutes, drop off all of our amenities, and we'll be right out. Maybe confer a little bit. I hope that's not an inconvenience to you.
No, take your time.
This is what I'm here for. Thank you very much. We'll be here. We'll be back shortly. Just give us a few minutes. Devron, would you mind meeting up in Valrice's quarters there so we can kind of confer or trade some notes?
Of course.
Talking to Felony, and we'll just be right back. I'm gonna go into Valrice's quarters.
I'm just dropping all my stuff and throwing it in storage right now.
Yeah, Kira travels really light. Whatever they have on them, it's just like a sea bag. So They just kind of toss it into the corner for time being. Nothing really too valuable in there.
I was gonna say anything that I want on me, I already have it. So
Very monkish.
Kira's gonna turn to Devron and just be like, "Practical as ever, I see."
All right, Turbo Virgin, they're in silence. All right. Anyways.
There's nothing to say to that.
Brewed in a corner with my hood up. Well, Risa, what do you,
Davrin's just waiting for us to like kind of get into the meat of things. He knows Kiros is a quite the talker, so he's just like, "Yep, all right." So I'll let him do his thing.
Okay. Valrisa is going to turn to the group and say, "Okay, any thoughts on this information? It definitely seems like there are way too many kidnappings to just be commonplace here. I would say, as we make our way to the police station before we leave this building, any priming, prepping, spell casting you got to do for yourself, do it now, so when we're out and about, we're not caught on surprise, unaware."
well, you know me, I'm not all about all that occult shit, but you do you. DM, would this be the first time we have heard of a case similar to this? I know we've probably dealt with many things over the 7 years.
It doesn't really stand out.
It doesn't really stand out,
Nah,
okay.
y'all are pretty relaxed. But vigilant,
Okay, so
because you're good at what you do, but relaxed.
Pretty laissez-faire about it all. This is standard operating
You
procedure.
take it easy. Sorry, you take it serious, but you guys are just vibing, really.
Okay. What are the odds any of this comet and nebula flare-ups and whatever fucking mumbo-jumbo voodoo bullshit the Dockmaster was spitting at us, how much do you think that's really, really affecting any of this? You're my resident magician man.
I mean, at least with the knowledge of the hells, unless there's some serious necromancy going on, there shouldn't really be anything that would indicate that, unless there's some wild experiments that are going on in the underbelly. But I think hopefully down at the precinct they can illuminate us as far as some of that information goes. I am going to, so I have 5 of these. I am going to use Sutek's Blessing, and it lets me sense creatures who have blood within 120 feet. And penetrates like most barriers, all that stuff. Lets me know the distance and direction. Is there anything that comes up in that search?
Yeah, you get a few dozen pings of various individuals throughout this small castle, and it kind of goes to a governmental wing. It's like a homestead and a courthouse put together sort of situation. So
Ooh.
there's like another connected building. So you guys head over there. There are just people, various species. Some with tentacles hanging down their head, and others with pale gray skin, but for the most part, regular individuals that don't alarm you or seem supernatural.
Were you saying we were heading out, or that was just what he's sensing?
That's what he sensed from the room.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are there any odds that these missing children have any connection to any demonic suspect or Snoopies that you have been tracking?
I mean, demons take kids all the time. They like to invest in their future or something. I don't know.
You have been on the quiet about any leads that have come up lately, so I just didn't. That is a good question. If anything had cropped up from something you were looking into, there hasn't been a whole lot of activity on your end in the last couple months.
No, it's been a slow season, I won't lie. Fairly boring. But let's meet up with this little assistant and get down to the precinct.
That is the best idea I heard all day, my friend.
Amen, brother.
Praise hell, praise dead.
Yay!
Yay!
All right, so you guys, I assume, come out the room ready to go. Byron's waiting there patiently for you. kind of leaning
Also, I
against
have
the
a
wall.
sci-fi "Make America Great Again" hat on. No, I'm just kidding.
Love it. Make Zima great again.
It's got like lights on the
Zima
piping.
great again.
It's the whole planet, but whatever, it works. It flows well. Yeah, so he leads you down. You guys kind of cross a windy courtyard. It's cold outside. There's snowfall. Gentle breeze. Nothing too crazy. You guys get to the other building. Go down. Go up a flight of stairs and up higher to a receiving area where there are people kind of lined up. It's in the afternoon, close to sunset, about 8 o'clock, and there's still people kind of standing in line up to the counters, filling out forms and doing business. But as soon as you kind of enter the room,
On the way, I would like to kind of interrogate our assistant one more time, if you don't mind.
absolutely,
What was his name again? I'm sorry, I forgot. I forgot to
Byron.
write it down.
Byron.
Byron. Okay. No, excuse me, Byron. I know I'm a little bit of a chatahog over here, and my compatriots aren't much one for small conversation, but I just had a couple more questions for you, mostly related to this nice little colony you have yourself. I'm just curious, what's the nightlife like? What's that going forward? Since we're also here to kind of enjoy our time a little bit, take a little bit of a vacation, if you will, while we kind of solve the going-ons around here.
Oh, certainly, yes. There's quite the nightlife, especially as the Winter Solstice festival approaches, which is tomorrow night, actually. But yeah, there's rides and all kinds of things to do in the festival. There's lots of food from various planets. There's a weapons show if you go to the east side, and lots of things to do. Lots of family-friendly activities. Not that you may limit yourself to that.
Yeah, you seem like quite a respectable young man. I can't
thanks.
imagine you get your nose into too much trouble. But I gotta ask, what's kind of the nightlife like around here? You know, the undercity, the dwellings that most good-natured folk don't really find themselves in, but might stumble upon in case they're out on a night of revelry and just happen to take a wrong turn down an alley. What's that like? So it's something maybe perhaps you've experienced every now and again, I'm sure, by total accident, of course.
Well, it sounds like you're describing what the southeast is like. That's sort of where I would say most of the nefarious usually stay, but I don't know. We don't have much of an underground anything going on, except for some ne'er-do-wells.
Can I roll an insight check on him, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh. So that is a 16 plus 12, so 22.
Yeah,
Holy
you think
shit,
he's
plus
yeah, right? He's
Expertise, baby, let's go!
he's withholding something.
No, Riley, you did that wrong. You have to go 16. Oh wait, 27.
That he's withholding something. Do I get a sense of of what part he's withholding? Not exactly what it is, but like where to poke and prod in that question.
Yeah, you kind of think he suspects more than he lets on. That he just is kind of like he kind of wants this conversation to be over.
Now, young man, I know we're heading to the precinct right now, but I do want to let you know that whatever you say to me will be in confidence, and you know I'm not looking to get anybody but the people causing the problems in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And maybe just a little help out. You lived here all your life, haven't you? I'm sure you know more than you let on a little bit. I get it, I'm a stranger, but I'm not trying to be a stranger. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get in there and really solve some problems around here. Keep folk like you safe.
Roll persuasion.
Oh God, that's terrible. 5. I have a -1 to persuasion.
Damn, I thought you were gonna blast it out the water.
Ah,
He kind of like looks at you a
Fast
little
talking.
confused, almost like he's trying to decipher your jargon while you talk, and he just kind of looks, for the first time, a little prissy about like, okay, like what is this guy saying to me? Like I kind of want to be done here.
Leave me alone.
Like a little bit of his nose kind of turned up, like I don't know what you're saying.
now I see I've offended you, and if I did, I do apologize. I'm from a very small planet. The way we talk is much less formal than I'm sure what you're used to, so I do apologize if I've crossed some boundaries.
It's quite all right. Well, we're almost there. Is there anything else on your mind?
Not unless my compatriots have something to add, but no, I think you've satisfied my curiosity more than enough.
Fantastic.
Yes. I noticed there was a lounge / whorehouse in the building we were just in. What's up with that?
A lounge / whorehouse. You must be mistaken. There's no such thing over here.
Okay. he's just gonna.
I'm gonna insight check that fucking bitch right there.
You are? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. New dice. Don't fail me. Ah, that fell off the table. 12 plus 12, so 24.
That's awesome. He's again kind of like he knows where they would be, but they're not here. He's like, they're not here. But
Oh,
I know where they are.
I give Valrisa a little nudge to let him know that he's fucking blowing smoke at his ass.
Don't you guys have your hand signals?
I do the off to the side, kind of like give him a nudge and kind of give him hand signals behind my cloak, the sign language that I taught him. To just tell him, hey, he's full of shit.
I'll sign back and be like, we'll inquire more later.
Thumbs up. Talon up.
All right, so you guys.
I did have one question.
Yes.
These celestial sightings that your leader mentioned, aside from a red comet and a green flash, was there anything noticeably weird?
Well, I guess you could say it has been colder this past week, but that could be a coincidence.
Strange weather patterns. Interesting.
I guess.
That's it.
All right. Well, anything else?
Nope, nothing else. I just wanted to add that you have quite the interesting personality. Deveron don't normally speak up to strangers like you very often, so you must be quite special.
I don't know about that, but
Take it from someone who's known a man for almost a decade. It is.
I guess I'll have to take your word for it. We have arrived. And you guys see the hall I was explaining earlier where there's lines up to the counters, and you will see just kind of some distraught-looking folk. And yeah, feel free to get in line.
I'm gonna slap Byron just like in the back, like as a friendly pat. But there's a little bit of force, a bit intentional force behind it. And just say, well, thank you very much, young man. I gotta say, Byron, you've been a pleasure. I think we could probably find our way back after we're done here, so you don't need to stick around for us, but I really do appreciate you taking the time to wait around and show us where we need to go and answering my incessant questions.
Give me a performance.
Performance? Why are you making me do charisma shit?
Because you're doing charisma shit. You're being the face.
5 again.
Of course it is. Yeah, he's kind of like now he's kind of snobby, like don't talk to me. kind of vibe. He's like, yeah,
Oh.
good to meet you guys. And he's gonna close the door and
Retail worker who's losing
walk off.
patience.
Yes. He's like, all right, like, bye. I'm leaving, and he's gone. You guys take care. Enjoy the festival. Ka-chunk.
Yeah, I'm gonna take stock of the precinct as we step into the door. I want to see just everything I can note about it.
Yeah.
Exit, entrances, the type of people in there, how prepared the police officers look, the kind of gear that they rock.
Roll investigation.
Cool.
And if anybody else would like to do anything else during this time, let me know.
17 plus 7, so 24.
He's beating me to the punch every time with these investigation checks.
I know,
I'm
me
sorry.
too.
I'm sorry.
literally-
I'm sorry. I'll slow down, guys. I apologize.
No, you're good.
No, it's okay to go fast because we don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good.
24.
Can I do a like a history check to see what I know about the planet?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, D20. Cool.
And then I'll do Riley, and then Riley got 24.
Damn it.
What'd you get?
I got a 10.
Let's go gambling. Darn it.
You pretty much recall the vibe when you were here last, about 4 years ago. You'd say it's a little bit bigger than when you left it. Not a whole lot, but there's more residents, a little bit more diversity. It's kind of like an up-and-coming spot on the cosmic nexus of routes, and there's still that original culture that's there, but it's kind of being more melting potted as time has gone on. But nothing else seems really abnormal except for the things in front of you, which you passively may pick up on some of it, but Riley is going to notice kind of fatigued looking staff, like the officers or the guards look like they've kind of taken on multiple shifts. Everybody that's lined up, like 9 out of 10 of them, and there's 2 lines of about 15 to 12. They all look pretty tired or worried. There's an air of exhaustion and annoyance in the guards, but they're relatively patient. And there's an air of tired, frustrated sorrow that's lined up. And you'll see a particularly just 1,000-yard stare looking old lady kind of standing the wrong way in the line, and then as they move up, she kind of blinks to herself and moves up the line as well, and is kind of lost in space.
Okay.
Wow. Everyone here sipping on a big cup of depresso.
Yes, well, that's what happens when we get around the holidays. People tend to get the blues for whatever reasons, despite all the merrymaking that's supposed to be happening, I suppose. I guess I'm just gonna, pardon me, I'm just gonna shove through the line up to the front of the desk and just, like everybody's standing normal height, and I'm just like boop, doo 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 doo, pushing people, spreading my wings a little
You get
bit,
some
making gap.
pushback. Like, hey!
I'm just gonna broad walk right behind them, so when they say hey, they see me.
Hell
No.
yeah.
Yeah, they.
That's my buddy. That's my buddy.
Can I get an intimidation from Valreese?
Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
18.
Yay!
Oh, yeah.
12 plus 6.
Yeah, nobody stands up to you, or they
Yeah,
all,
yeah,
they
that's
all
what I thought.
yield out the way. Like, I don't need more problems here.
I was gonna say Davrin's gonna follow up behind Valrisa and just kind of bowing his head at everyone.
Nice. I love it. What a great dynamic. All right, so yeah, you kind of walk up to kind of an older looking human, gray in hair, kind of got that old man thickness about his gut. He gets paid pretty well here. It's a pretty quiet town. Not much goes on, and it reflects in the staff.
Well, I must say, you must be the desk sergeant for this precinct, I assume.
No, that would be my superior.
Oh, really? Wow.
He's 15 years
Apologize.
younger and
You
bigger
have
than
the
my wife.
air of having been here for a while. You look like you would have that kind of authority. So my mistake. I did not mean to just assume something. But I was told that we
Back
were.
of the line.
No. So I was told we were supposed to meet your captain. We're fuck, what's the name of the fucking group against Magnus what?
Magnus
Magnus
Carcosa.
Carcosa.
Carcosa. I wanted to say Concordia. I don't know why.
It's just
So we're Magnus Carcosa. We were sent by your governor or whatever the hell you have as a
Magnus
figurehead around
Condominium.
here to speak with the captain, and I just need to go see him real quick, my compatriots, if you don't mind. I don't really need nothing from you.
Your name is Magnum Carcosa?
Sure, whatever floats your boat there, pal. But really, we're in a tidbit of a hurry, unless you want more people to go missing around here.
I'm gonna do an intimidation check there, and I'm gonna look at the guy and be like, say it right.
Roll it. Roll it.
18 plus 6, 24.
Yay! He takes a big swallow. Magnus Carcosa?
Thank you.
Look at that! You figured it out pretty damn quickly, I gotta say. You're a pretty bright one. You're pretty sharp. Now, anyways, you're captain, if you don't mind.
Davern's just gonna kind of
yes,
jab
he's gonna scramble
Valrissa
up.
in the side with his staff.
He's gonna scramble and kind of go through the door in the back, and this stern, sharp-faced lady comes out and looks at you and says, "Oh, you guys must be Magnus Carcosa."
That is us, in fact. We were just informing the gentleman he got our name wrong the first time, and we were making sure that his pronunciation was top-notch.
Yes, I'm sure, and rightly so. What can I do for you? I heard you had something urgent.
Yeah, your figurehead, or whatever the hell you pass as a governor or whatever around these parts, is sent for us to help investigate into the disappearances and weird undertakings that have been going on around here. And y'all look pretty harried, and we figured we'd come by and get some information from you, maybe help out on your investigation a little bit extra helping hand and all.
Listen, I appreciate the sentiment, but this is this is a governmental matter, and we're not going to have civilians enter in on an open investigation. We have it under control.
It sure looks like it, for sure.
Davern's gonna step up and go, "We wouldn't be here if you didn't need the help."
This is true. This is very true. My very quiet friend who only speaks when he absolutely
Davern, I want a
needs to.
persuasion from you.
For me, damn it.
Yeah.
Does he get the help action for me?
Yeah, I was gonna say with advantage because you guys, what's her fucking name? Kira was helping.
Oh, thank God I got that advantage. Okay. Come on. Oh, it's an 8. Damn it.
An 8 still?
It was 9 minus 1. The first roll was a 3, so.
She kind of nods and says, "Yes, Jarl Onzin mentioned something about your arrival, but he didn't say you would be infringing on our investigation."
He was quite insistent, actually.
Well, okay. This way. And she'll kind of open the thing, and you guys can follow her into one of the back rooms to the side. She'll go, "Okay, so what do you know so far?" And I'll fill in the gaps.
Well, so far what we understand is something, yada, 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 red comet, green flash, nightmares, really kind of unrelated shit. Don't really know why he brought that up too terribly much. What I'm most curious about, and most important, is the missing persons y'all been having. How many are missing at this point? You said this has been going on about a week or so?
Well, as I'm sure you may know, not much happens here. So a missing person is normally a fairly big deal, and yes, it did start a week ago. It's just a couple worried parents, kids that may have snuck out but didn't make it home. And with the storms, it's been difficult to search out there.
It has been unseasonably frigid this time of year, correct?
Well, it's normally cold, but this is some 20 degrees below the norm.
Hmm.
Yeah, planetary warming and all that. Now, again, back to my question of how many are actually missing, because I'm a little concerned about the fact that y'all call yourselves a precinct and a police department, and yet within a week you have multiple missing in a town where usually that don't happen at all. Right, so this usually indicates a bigger issue. Now, I'm not saying y'all aren't doing your jobs, but it is mighty suspicious that people are gone and you've made no headway. So either we've got a bigger entity that is outside of your scope, and that's no fault of y'all's own. It's just it's a small town. I get it. Nothing really happens. So when something big like this happens, it's pulling out all the stops. And I understand. I'm a detective from where I'm from, and I've dealt with stuff like this. Maybe not on this scale when I was originally there, but throughout my years, I've seen a lot like this. It's not uncommon to be caught unawares. The other thing I'm curious about is if it's not a big entity, that means somebody knows something, and usually it's somebody in a position of power. And that's where things really start to go wrong. How many children are missing?
42.
Oh, God!
We're not looking for the answers of the universe. How many kids are missing?
42 children. And 6 adults.
We don't care about the adults. Why are there 42 kids missing?
We... Riley, give me a persuasion with advantage, because that was glorious.
Thank God I had advantage. So that was 10 plus minus 1, so 9. I rolled a nat 1, so
Oh, shit, okay.
yeah.
That one, she just pulls her gun out and shoots you in the face.
So she goes, oh, okay, yes, you're right. We don't know. We've been looking. We've been out patrolling every night. And it's with the wind and the snow, can't see shit. It's fucking impossible. We don't know what's going on.
No, I apologize.
But obviously I can't fucking tell these people. What do I have to...
I understand, and I apologize if I came off harsh, but you gotta understand, this is a lot of people missing.
No, you're right. You're right.
And I don't mean any offense by it, but by starting off this conversation telling us that we have no right to interfere and help out does not paint a good picture for me, right?
Yeah, I guess legally you don't, but I guess
legally we do. We got asses come here to help
are
us.
drastic measures.
Let's not do this. Let's not do this circular shit, right? I understand the whole precinct. This is our case. This is our case. Fuck you. This is about the goddamn children. This is what this is about, right?
You're right.
Who gives a shit who's helping?
You're right. You're
Now,
right.
my
You're right.
associates
okay.
here
Yes.
are damn good at what they do.
I don't know.
So
Well, it's all been superstition. I can't run with that.
Right. So one of my compatriots, one of my dear friends, is all about the superstition. So why don't you give him the info about the superstition? Let me focus on the hard facts, and we can work both angles.
I don't know. Some old lady was talking about the horns from the stars. I'm not super sure. She's out in the lobby, in line again. If you want to talk to her.
Horns from the stars. Can I do? Would it be history?
Yeah, you can try history.
Oh boy, something I'm terrible at.
Or
Or would it be
religion.
religion? I can do religion. I'll do
It's
both.
definitely it's history, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
I was
so
gonna say because if you're trying to remember, you wouldn't even know if it
Yeah.
would be religious.
Sorry, I was mostly talking to myself. I apologize.
No, you're good.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
just me mumbling to myself.
Okay. Well, history is a 11.
You feel like it rings a bell. Like you may have heard something. Maybe something in your experience, like some fleeting story that you caught in the wind. But you're just not able to place it yet.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Um. So you said this lady was where?
She's in line again at the back.
Do you think you could
Oh.
prepare a interview room for us with the woman outside where you heard this information from, so my friend Valrisa and I can talk to her?
Absolutely, Killian, and then the one of the other officers that was with her goes out, and this guy has kind of a like a light blue bald head with light blue skin that kind of ends in frills where ears would be, and he has a kind of sideways opening mouth and one central eye, and then a couple eyes kind of on the temples. And he goes out, calls the lady, and she follows, and they bring you to a separate room.
I am going to stay behind because I want to talk to the police chief more.
Okay.
We'll see when we're done, Devron.
Don't punch anyone.
Get out of here, dickhead.
With the open fist, push! Step out the window.
Rachel! Where is she? Harvey dead. Can we trust him?
He was right, Sheldon.
Late sight.
Clean slate.
Okay.
Maybe we let
So
Devron continue interrogating the police chief before we get... Well, mostly Valrisa gets diving into this batty old woman.
No, you want me to continue talking?
Yeah, I figured
yeah,
you've been quiet the most. I've been the most talkative.
yeah,
Okay.
decent.
Once like kind of everybody leaves, Davarin is gonna close the door behind him with his staff and look back at the police chief. Where are these children missing from? What kind of families are they coming from?
Well, to be frank, there's a bias toward the southeast, but they've come from all over.
Rich, poor, aristocratic, homeless alike?
Yeah, I would say mostly from the poorer districts.
Hmm. Kind of nods. And these adults that have gone missing, have they any connection to the children?
Um, in every case, yes.
Parent, uncle, aunt? What are they?
Almost, yeah. They're all parents.
All parents. Most likely either looking for their children out and about or trying to protect their children. And these disappearances, were they from the homes or while they were out in the world?
We believe most of them from the homes, but some kids play until dark, and some of them have not been returning home.
Of course. In this southeast region, the area, I assume it is poor.
That is where many of the lower sects of society tend to congregate, and it's just always been that way.
Your officers, do you have enough resources to patrol it, like you do the upper city?
Well, that is part of why this is a bad look, as no. to be honest. We patrol them much less. So we are being blamed for the higher number of cases being found over there.
Are they wrong?
They were right for a time when these first started, but roughly 4 days ago, we spread our forces as thin as possible to cover as much ground as possible. And it's only yielded confusion.
What's the quickest way to get to the southeast region from here?
Oh, I'm sure you can take one of the trains.
And Davern just opens the door and walks out.
Cool.
He's going to be waiting in the waiting room of the precinct for everyone else.
All right.
I absolutely love it. All right, what was this lady's name again?
So you guys were sat in a room. You have, you're just beginning that interaction. But when you
He was there already?
No, but you guys, while he was talking to her, you guys got put into this room. So it's you two and this old lady, and then the split open mouth lieutenant is gonna be in the room with you, just kind of silently standing by the door.
I'm gonna walk over and whisper to the police officer that would escort us and be like, I'm sorry. Normally I wouldn't ask this, but this is kind of a informal investigation just to get things started. I think to make her more comfortable. Maybe you could just step out into the viewing room where you can still hear us, but not be, inside.
Persuasion?
I'm so ready.
I am just...
Let me roll my thing real quick.
15.
15?
Yes, sir. 16 minus 1.
He nods and looks toward the old lady. Ma'am, you okay if I leave? Ma'am? Ma'am. She's, huh? Are you okay if I leave? Yes. Yes, absolutely. And she kind of looks back at the table, and then he's going to take his exit.
Cool. I'm going to stand back towards the side wall and just lean against it so I have view of both the door and Valrisa and the old woman.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to calmly sit down across from her, and I'm going to lean in a little bit, just enough to where my horns almost poke her in the eyes, but not quite. And
Jesus,
and
we're already going bad cop.
No. And very calmly, very quietly, I'm just gonna look at her and say, "What do you know about the children?"
My grandson's missing.
And when about did he go missing?
He was the first to go missing.
First.
What was his name, if you don't mind me asking?
Theo.
And how long has it been since he went missing?
Since the comet.
Since the comet?
She nods.
What happened on that day? Walk me through it.
Well, I was out tending to my garden in the afternoon. I like to stay spry, and I've been staying with my son, you see, and Theo was playing with his friends. He came home. He was meant to bring home some extra firewood, and it seems he may have gone into the woods to gather some at the last minute, and well, dinner was ready and he was nowhere to be found.
Interesting. And do you believe this had some sort of relation to the comet?
Yes. I'm from across the Aquila Rift, and I've heard the stories. I've heard of the comet. I've heard of what it brings.
Does it have anything to do with the horns?
Yes.
What do you know of them?
It is a story of great evil. A being that preys on the innocent. Said to arrive on the eve of celebrations across the cosmos.
Do you have a name of this being?
I shall not speak it aloud. It is an evil thing to say.
Kira, do you have paper?
Always my friend.
I'm going to take the paper and I'm going to put it in front of her. I'm going to say, I'm going to tell her to write it down.
Her hand kind of trembles over the paper for a second. And then she starts writing, but she looks away, and you guys read the kind of tangled scrawl of this old woman's handiwork. Let me see, how do I disconnect this from this? On Discord, how do I keep this up? Oops.
Okay, sorry. While you're doing that, I gotta get water.
You're good.
I'm dying of thirst over here. Be right back.
I'll wait then. I would like to... Okay.
Are we fighting literal Krampus?
No? That's hilarious.
What?
Oh, we lost him.
Bailed.
What? Boop.
What?
How did he come back and then ruin it? It was
is very
fine.
funny.
What?
No, I'm sorry. I came back to my computer and Discord was completely frozen.
Yeah, we saw, what? And then...
Sorry.
It's okay.
How dare you? All right.
I mean, how do you... Let me know when you're ready, and I'll continue.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good to go. Sorry about that.
You're good.
This sickness has me all kinds of fucking
I get it. Dude.
beclamped and dry and everything.
By the time she's finished scrawling out these barely even letters, more like symbols, she's like broken a sweat and is visibly trembling and kind of just lets the pen fall from her hand. Kind of just leans on her wrist.
Is this text like in a language we would know?
Yes, she made it readable in common.
Okay.
But it's like something's wrong with it, the way she wrote it.
What am I able to like tell what's wrong with it?
I mean, yeah, she just it's like it's got the remnants of. Do you know any languages?
I know a lot of languages.
Do you know Abyssal?
I do know Abyssal.
Yeah.
Like a winky dink.
What are the odds?
Abyssal.
The Illrigger knows Abyssal?
Yeah, so there's like a she wrote it in common, but there's a taint of abyssal influence in the scrawl that she issued for you.
Okay. So when I see the paper, I'm gonna look over at Kira and be like, I'm just gonna look at him and be like, shit just got real.
Kira's gonna acknowledge that, lean over, kind of pull the flimsy towards himself, and kind of just tap at the scrawling with the stylus and just say, pronounce it without really, just go, Cramp Rognan? Am I reading that right?
That's very close.
Well, shit. That don't mean nothing to me. Does it mean shit to you? You saying this is important?
It was I'm sorry, what was the name again?
Cramp Rognan?
Cramp Brognan. Would that be another history check or religion?
Yeah. Yes, history.
History, okay.
Now you could do, actually, you know what? You could do religion.
Religion.
So I would say you already did the history earlier. I would say you got a feeling.
Okay. It is a 14. Wow, not my best rolls today.
No, you guys are rolling like shit.
Yeah, we are. Crazy.
Only the
It's,
stuff
That's
we're not
with a
good
plus
at.
4.
it's funny. Yeah, so you kind of piece this together with, you've heard stories of a kind of cosmic curse that maybe it's an entity, maybe it's a force of nature, maybe it's just a simple, somehow nebulous cosmic curse. But this name rings a bell, and you know it's not necessarily from the hells or the abyss, but it's familiar with those evils, in bed with them, and ancient.
Okay.
But something that comes from the stars.
Okay. I will ask the lady, is there any other information you can give us? The location of where your son went missing, some of the other kids? Anything that could be helpful in locating them?
It seems to be at night. That's always how these evils like to operate, it seems. So, down We have a cottage south on the southern part of the city, out by the farms.
What would that proximity be to the southeast quarters?
We live just a few miles from where it traditionally begins.
Understood.
Well, I guess I know where we need to go.
Yes, thank you very much for your time. You've been incredibly helpful, and I can only express how serious we are about finding your grandson and those other children that have gone missing.
As soon as he says serious, I'm gonna get up and be like, Kira, we're going shopping.
Yeah, by shopping, he means like, shopping for kids, and specifically the 42 that are missing, but not like. Anyways, have a good day, ma'am. It was wonderful speaking to you. I hope your holidays turn out just fine for the Winter Solstice or whatever. Let's get the fuck out of here.
So you guys knock on the door. The guy comes back in, escorts the lady out. She just kind of goes to the back of the line, and you guys depart. Out the front, I guess, looking for the city. Grabbing
I really
Davron
would
on the
prefer
way out.
it put me into such awkward situations where I gotta cover for us. You just say some of the most out-of-pocket shit I have ever heard in my entire life. You know that?
We're gonna dress you up as a child and get you kidnapped.
That is not happening again. We're not doing that again. You understand me? I
Just
told
because
you. No
Davron
more.
5 turned out differently doesn't mean this will be the same.
No, when I told you that was the only gosh damn time we were gonna do that. Make Devron do it this time. I'm putting you in a big old fucking diaper. Then you can do it, God damn it. You and I both know you're small for your size anyways. You probably look like just a big-haired baby.
I'm gonna shove him, and then look around for Davron.
I'm gonna flare my wings mid-flying from the shove and just kind of alight back onto my feet. It's all with violence, big man.
You peeked so hard, but we got it. We got the message.
Just,
Sorry, we tried to.
gotten me this far.
All right, bitches. This might be a two-parter, to be honest.
I think it'll have to be.
No, furnish. I didn't plan VR on the same day. We're doing a one shot.
Well,
yeah. I mean, yeah.
It just happens. I get it. It's all good.
I mean, if we can find something that aligns later in the week, around Christmas, obviously. I'm down to just. I mean, it's us four. So.
I mean,
There's no way. I have a huge fight.
Like 3 on Monday, and then I've got Tuesday and Wednesday off, so we can do it at any time. Then
I have Thursday off. Day after Christmas, Boxing Day. And then obviously the weekend.
Next weekend we could.
No, you can do it next weekend too. It's up to you guys. I was just letting you know that.
I don't think we're gonna align this week because if he's off Thursday, I work Monday, Thursday, Friday.
okay. Yeah, I mean, any day. Any day works for me because I get off work around like 2 at the latest.
Normally, I'd say as long as it's after 3 o'clock on my time, I'd be okay. But I have such a long drive that I can't guarantee.
Just play D&D from your car again, really.
Shit, I could.
I'll do your rolls for you.
I mean, legitimately, I really don't mind if that's what we end up doing. If it's easy. If I got my hour-and-a-half drive, I spend it fucking playing D&D. I just don't know how great I'll be with if we're in a fight. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm down for whatever works.
Well, yeah, we'll figure something out.
But we still got 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Damn.
I know.
Yeah, closer to 45. I mean, I just gotta throw on shoes and then I can drive over to Colton's.
I just gotta change while he's driving to me.
That's right.
Go like that.
No.
You're not gonna fight Tyranids in your fucking snowman onesie?
That sounds honestly really appealing, but no, it'll be too hot.
I was gonna.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It seems funny, but you will be in a pool of
Yeah,
sweat.
I'm so good. I don't want to be sweating in it either. It's like felt, so no.
Just splishy splash noises every time you take a step.
Okay, so yes, we got like 30 minutes.
Yeah, so I figure
During
we're gonna
traffic.
hop on
So 20 minutes shopping, right?
during any shopping.
Yeah, I was just saying it to be facetious.
I figure we'll
No,
hop
I know.
on the train after Devron kind of explained to us what he learned from the police chief, and hop on the train to the southeast quarters.
Yeah, okay. So you guys make your way out. There's a transportation station nearby. It
I was
kind
gonna
of-
say, and I'll just relay what we learned in my conversation to them as we're like walking towards the train station.
Do you want to roleplay that? Or just pass time?
No, there's nothing to roleplay. I'll just be passing along information. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys heard what the police chief told Davron, right?
Mhm.
Excellent. So yeah, so you guys beam across the city on this sort of hover train that's magnetically locked to the rail. Then you guys watch as through the windows there's just like gentle lights in the distance of kind of the bigger buildings, and then neighborhoods start approaching with some frozen lake here and there. And you guys pull into a station that's notably not as well kept as the one that you left. And you guys would say you're probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes from the old lady who didn't introduce herself, I guess, but her name was Mora Els. The old lady's name, and her grandson was Theo.
More L's. Dang.
Mora Els. Yeah, Morels.
And her grandson plus ratio.
Requia, Scott, and Pache. All right, yeah, you guys. It's probably like 9:30 at this point, and most people are turning in because there's quite a bit of snow. The streets are kept relatively clear, but there's still snow piling on the sidewalks, and on top of the buildings and such. And you've reached down the road, kind of down a long driveway. There's a small set of building that looks like it houses maybe a few adults and a kid or two.
So my passive perception is 22. Would I have noticed if anybody was following us the entire time?
Nobody was following you.
Cool.
Yeah.
So sorry, you said we're up at the farmhouse?
Yep, you guys find yourself out in the cold, kind of trudging through the snow at this point. This isn't part of the kind of futuristic streets that keep themselves warm and clear. This is a dirt path with snow and debris, and there's a kind of a heavy, snowy wind and a dimly lit house ahead of you.
Dimly lit, does that mean like perhaps
candlelight.
like nobody's really in it?
The candlelight, there's people, it looks occupied.
I am once again going to use Sutek's blessing and scan the 120-foot radius.
All right. You get 3 blips of people in the house, and then some fauna, like some cold owls and other creatures of that nature.
Hmm. Okay.
I'll tell you what, Valrisa, Devran, why don't you all introduce yourselves to the kindly folks inside the home? I'm gonna kind of skirt around the backside, see what I can scrounge up without anybody really guiding our hand on where to look, if y'all don't mind.
Not sure how these folk will take to a demonic minotaur, but sure, let's try it.
You just seem to
You
have
can
way
be
more
my
words better than I do.
Oh, look here, little furry boy. We ain't taking no pets here.
pet.
I would like to roll stealth and
Do it.
go around the backside here.
And
And
I
then
will.
me and Valrisa were gonna walk up to knock on the door.
And while we're waiting for
rolled
them
a
to answer,
5, so that's
Ooh.
plus 15, so 20.
Jeez.
Holy fuck! Plus
Expertise, baby.
15.
I have a plus 5 in Dex. Expertise gives me double my proficiency bonus.
Yeah, it's it's also dark. You keep to the brush and to the darkest parts of the night, and you're practically invisible to most eyes.
Heck yeah. Well, look, while we wait for them to answer, I'm gonna look at Davern and be like, it'd be funny. Why don't you do the talking?
Darren's just gonna kind of look up at him and just like stare at him as hard as he can, and then look back down.
Fair enough. Do they answer the door?
Yeah. So you guys knock,
Uh-huh.
and it's Davron, right? You're
Mhm.
you're the one initiating.
Yeah.
Roll initiative.
No, I rolled something else.
Good.
Um, so so you hear a couple of mumbles and then some small footsteps, and the door opens inward. You see kind of middle-aged brunette woman with her hair kind of tied in a bun in the back, and she looks up right when she opens the door and looks up because she kind of sees Davron and then looks past him and sees the Minotaur. And right at the same instance, there is a shock of lightning across the thick clouds above, which elicits a terrified scream from her, and she runs inside, and her husband comes out. He's got a spatula and a knife. And he looks up at you like, what do you want?
Holy fuck! Davern's gonna kind of look at the knife and kind of chuckle to himself, and then introduce himself. I am Davern. I am here investigating your son's disappearance.
Are you from the... Did mom get to... Did mom send you?
Did who?
My
Mora?
mom. Yes, Mora.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So you're friends with my mother? Or are you from the police department?
We came from the police department, but we do not work for the police.
Well, what can I help you with? Come in, it's cold out there. And he's going to let you in. It's going to be a squeeze for you, Valrese.
Do like the awkward duck and turn sideways.
Yeah.
Pat your horns on the door frame at first real quick.
Just chip like a little bit out of the door frame.
It's a little cramped, and I want you to throw me a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, I'm good at these. You said dexterity.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right. Well, that was a 6.
Yeah. So when you reset yourself at the front, you knock over a whole shelf of things by the door. It clatters.
fireball into the room.
Ooh, can I make an acrobatics check?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, I nat one that. Never mind.
Yeah, so you knock it all off, and you go to try and catch it, but you're so slow that you actually step on it once it hits the ground, completely destroying whatever, like a couple pots and some pans and things.
I'm just gonna look at them and be like, Davern, give him your money.
Darren's gonna look at him and go, "I am a monk. What kind of money do you think I could give them?"
It's okay, really. What can we do for you?
Yes, we just had some questions about your son's disappearance. We're trying to piece some things together and hopefully find a lead that can point us in his direction.
The mother kind of speaks up first, says, well, I don't know. And she kind of looks at her husband and says, ask him. And he says, listen, the ladies think that this is some kind of superstitious nonsense. It's much more likely that he got hurt in the woods, and we just haven't been able to find him in the snow. There's wildlife here. It's not like we've erased the local fauna from existence. You know, there's still bears and all sorts of things. Space bears.
Yeah, space bears.
They always get you those space
This place
bears.
is weird.
Just
Just
bears
bear.
with like fishbowl helmets and a jetpack like strapped to their backs.
Just a bear.
Running around, burning our
It's just a
women,
bear.
raping our churches.
That's so weird.
Burning our women.
Davern's gonna kind of like eye the wife for a second, and then look at the husband and ask, where were you when you learned of your son's disappearance?
Well, I had got home about 20 minutes after dinner, and that's when my wife told me that Thea was missing. So I went out, and I spent the entire night looking for him.
Were you able to find any tracks or remains of any sort of hint?
Now, I tried. We grabbed the neighbors, but nothing.
And I look at the wife, and I'll ask, where were you when he went missing?
I was making dinner with Mora, and he got home kind of late, and then thought I heard the door close, but I wasn't sure if he was arriving again or what. And we were talking and preparing supper.
What about the comet?
Well, Mora and I have heard the same stories. And I don't know, maybe it's the mother's intuition, but this doesn't feel right. Something. My husband still hopes, but our boy's not coming back.
You say that with such certainty. I'm going to do an insight check on her.
Okay.
Thank God for advantage. Okay, 17.
And what were you looking to investigate or in see?
More of like facial reactions, distraught, stress. You know, she just kind of said like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure my kid's not coming back." Is there any sort of like
It's a
grief
like
or
a
emotion behind
yeah,
that?
it's like a resolute grief of like kind of born of strength. Like she's trying not to fall apart, but she's just. It's like she knows in her gut that he's gone, but is trying to hold it together for her husband, who still hopes.
Okay. Dark.
Merry Christmas.
La 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 la.
And then obviously I'm doing investigating stuff while this is happening.
Yeah, you want to do some of that? See what you can see.
I just was bringing it up. I'm not trying to.
No. I know. Yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
about Roderick, but I don't have a whole lot other questions to ask her
Okay.
or him.
Yeah. Okay. I have one last question.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Roderick. Sorry.
Your mother Mora mentioned with the comet, with the red comet, there was also a green flash. By any chance, do you know where that green flash was emanating from?
It seems to be the comet. Comet of Cramp Rognan is described as such. Paints the sky in blood red. Than the evilest green you can imagine.
Blood.
Did we know much about Cramp Rognan? I kind of forgot.
No, not really.
Okay, can I do a religion check on him?
Yeah.
Or a history check? Okay. Do you want history or religion?
I'd say religion at this point.
Okay.
Everyone's kind of heard
Religion.
something about it.
Ooh,
If
that
you
is a
haven't done
plus
history
0.
yet.
Okay. Kind of hoping it would be a history, but I will do religion.
I'll say fuck it.
7.
You can
Okay.
pick.
Fuck.
You can do history. That's fine.
Okay.
Either
well, I
or.
rolled a 7, so that'll be 12 if I'm doing history.
Nice. I would say, what were you trying to figure out exactly? Just so I give you something.
Just like if I know anything about Cramp Rognan.
Yeah, so you kind of remember your own pieces of similar stories that are heralded by a red comet with a flash of green. All right. You're not all too familiar with it, but you know the story is something like just a swath of death and chaos
Okay.
is associated with this.
All right. Gotcha. Felt like a tarot card. Tower of Babylon.
Yeah, it's like gives off feelings of like punishment of the innocents.
Okay.
Ooh.
And would I know if it has any connection to like night terrors or anything or no?
I would say you can reasonably deduce that this shit is kind of adding up. The night terrors. There may be something here. Maybe a connection.
Cool.
It's kind of starting to coalesce. And we can, if you would like to, we can go to Riley.
Yes.
Yeah. We can jump over to what Riley's doing.
You're outside sneaking.
Yeah, just kind of snooping the exterior of the building, any kind of adjacent structures, maybe a woodshed or wherever they would keep that kind of stuff, and seeing what I can find. I know the case is about a week cold, but I just kind of want to see, kind of see if I can follow a trail based off of where I could reasonably deduce where Theo would have been gathering firewood at the time from when his supposed disappearance was.
You
Couldn't
can
imagine
see
he'd go too far into the woods.
There's like a small 20-foot clearing, and then the woods kind of back the southern end of basically like the town. Like you're all basically on the outskirts, right? There's no proper wall or anything. You're just kind of on the outskirts near the farmlands, and there's just basically forest that bottoms out that map there. So you can, I would say you can assume that he probably just beelined it for the woods. There's like, give me an, let's see, give me perception.
Okay. 12 plus 12, so 24.
Nice. You quickly find a kind of beaten path that goes from the house into the woods that they normally use as their route. You know, it's just like the naturally occurring, most easy terrain to get down into the kind of rough terrained forest.
I'm gonna follow that for a little bit. I'm just kind of keeping an eye out for marks of,
Absolutely.
obvious residency, if that makes sense. Kind of general use. See if I can find anything that would kind of lead me to the natural disappearance point.
There's another crack of lightning above as you take that trail down to the forest. Oh, this, I'll say that everyone has the ability, but it's going to be an obvious, it's kind of difficult thing to hide. But I would say you guys are all equipped in some way or another with a form of like not telepathic, but like you guys got comms, whether it be an earpiece or if you have something here or however you want that done.
Okay.
But it's like there's an obvious gesture that you do to activate it.
Right. I imagine mine's kind of clipped up onto the inside of my hood.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of use that.
Anywhere.
Yeah, key in and just kind of just say, anything interesting y'all find out. I'm following a trail here where they seem to be gathering the firewood from. See if I can pick up on any signs of this young boy's disappearance.
Not much. It seems everything is just kind of going in circles.
No new
There's
information.
nothing new that we're learning here.
Damn it. All right, well, I bet you 20 goddamn credits that this is just some slavers hanging around in the area, and this comet mumbo-jumbo is just a bunch of BS.
I'll take that bet.
Damn right, I only seem to be the only one with money around here as is, so key in when I find something more. I'm just going to keep following the trail. I'm still stealth. Do you want me to roll again for that, or...?
No, I'd say you can keep your stealth. You haven't done anything to break it. You just change direction. As I would say, as you approach, get like within 10 feet of the forest, it looks very thickly, like it's just utter darkness out here. Do you have dark vision?
No, actually, I don't know that.
I don't know if Eric Harcourt.
Species traits. Nothing specifically that says dark vision. No class features. Yeah, I don't think I have.
That was probably a bad idea for us to choose races that didn't have dark vision in an Eldritch Horror themed fucking game.
I'll be honest, I didn't even think about it. I don't usually pick
I didn't either. I just thought it was funny because
you have a flashlight.
I don't have dark vision either.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my torch, and honestly, I'm gonna unclip my holster and have my sidearm ready to go. Not in hand, but just unclipped, ready to be drawn.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna kind of I'm gonna do the technique where I shine the light only enough to see what I need to see, and then cover it, and just keep moving along. So only just enough to see what I need to investigate, and just keep moving.
Okay, I would say now that you're doing this action, I would like another stealth.
For sure. Off the desk. That is a natural 20, so 35.
Bob, fucking invisible. You're able to see whatever you need to see. Adept at this, in your element. Fucking feathers, pruned.
Ducks in a row.
Ducks in a row. Right, exactly. Thriving. Warm.
In my lane.
In my lane, yep. And then I would say give me investigation, since I'm sure you're here looking for signs of whatever.
Oh, what's my investigation? It's just a +7. Ew. 12 plus
God.
7, so 19.
Okay. Something about the chill in the air kind of piques your interest, and you make your way deeper to kind of off the beaten path, kind of southeast down into the forest. And with your keen senses, you can see a couple divots in the snow that aren't really super noticeable, kind of next to a tree. And upon investigating them, you would see they are a set of large circular hoofed imprints into the ground. And then you investigate the tree, and you see some claw marks from it being grabbed, and then a slight disturbance of like the gravel underneath the snow. And you would say that something happened here.
Those hoof prints, are they kind of similar to what Valrisa would leave behind?
Yes, but much larger.
Much larger. Cool. I also just realized I have the reliable talent feat, which means I literally can't roll below a 10 on anything I'm proficient in.
Nice.
Interesting. Any signs of blood or... I know it's been a while, but if these impressions are still here, hoof prints, I can't imagine it's been the weather has been too temperamental with like lots of snow if they're still plainly visible.
Not plainly. You discovered them by a keen outlook on the fresh snow.
Okay. Got it.
And maybe you saw the claw marks first. Whatever, makes sense. But,
No.
Yeah, so the earth is pretty frigid and has kind of retained these deep gouges. But the snow and ice kind of obscured it from it kind of, in the dark, in the forest, in these windy, snowy nights. It's been damn near impossible to find shit. But you did. And you do just that this thing is huge and hoofed.
How high up are those scratch marks on that tree?
Oh, like way up, like 15.
Cool. I'm gonna spread my wings and fly up and investigate those scratch marks on that tree.
So it looks just like a deep gouge of kind of 4 scratches, but they're kind of lazy.
Kind of like just something brushed up against it as opposed
like it
to...
hung for a second, just kind of...
Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm gonna get on my comms again and be like, I found an area, looks like some kind of large being was here, and I don't know what the local fauna looks like, but I highly doubt it's as large as whatever the hell was here. Large scratch marks and, honestly, prints in the ground that look suspiciously like Valrisa's. I think we got a cousin of yours on the loose.
That's impossible. My
Devin.
family's dead.
Sorry, say again, Roger.
So that's impossible. My whole family's dead. I killed half of them.
Darren's gonna look up at Valrisa and go, nod at him, and then look at the family and go, "We will excuse ourselves. We have to meet up with an associate of ours."
Be safe.
Of course. Thank you for your
Sorry
wish.
again about breaking your stuff.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm gonna give them the exact location where I'm at and wait for them to show up.
Do you mind if we do you mind if we investigate your backyard?
No, I guess not. You've already been in my house, so feel free. The yard bleeds into the forest anyway, so.
Thank you for your hospitality.
All right.
And I'm gonna walk towards the back door and head out.
Okay.
All right, cool. This, I guess we regroup and then we finish this next weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he gives you the location, and you guys are entering the forest.
Damn it, dude! Damn it! Oh, I want to keep going.
I know, me too.
I'm so invested in this, actually.
I know, me too.
I want to know.
I know. I started getting so
Also,
deep, and I couldn't. I was like, oh, this isn't gonna finish. This
Well,
fight's not gonna
Dude,
be
I
quick.
fucking
If
when Riley asked if the hoof prints were like the same as Roderick's character, I could hear the smile in your voice when you said yeah.
Yeah,
but,
it's a good time. It's a good time.
I mean, if you guys aren't doing anything after we finish, we can always come back and continue.
I can.
Yeah, sure. That's
I
cool.
think I can. Yeah, like after close to 9 my time.
Yeah, and go for another
Sure.
hour or two or whatever. I know.
Yeah, that works for me. That's only about 6 for us, so.
Shit.
All right,
Okay.
cool.
I just gotta be, in bed by 8:39 ish,
Yeah,
or else I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be
fine.
miserable tomorrow.
Cool.
yeah. All right, cool. Sounds like a plan.
Fuck, I
Hell
love
yeah.
this character. Damn, I want to play this character all the time too.
Listen,
Really
it's like crack.
like the one that sounds like a slave owner.